Welcome back to the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. That is not Cris Cyborg. However, it is a fellow Canadian and Josh Hill, the Bellator Bantamweight. Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm good, brother, man. How are you?
Doing awesome. Good to see you alive and well, in good spirits and everything like that. Unfortunate news what happened with the tournament. We'll get into that in 1 second, but first just want to remind our audience, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're watching this. Really appreciate the support. So if people have been living under a rock, obviously, Josh, you weren't able to compete in the reserve bout for the Bellator Bantamweight tournament due to getting COVID-19. First and foremost, man, how you feeling?
Good, man. Better, much better now. It was just a linger, bro. It just wouldn't go away. Yeah, it lasted probably about 4 weeks, to be honest. I started feeling better again, then I just kind of came back, or I got hit again. I don't know what it was, and it lasted another 2 weeks. And yeah, I'd say 4 weeks until I finally felt like myself.
Yeah, and of course, you're supposed to fight Enrique Barzola in that sort of reserve bout or whatever. Just how tough was that, man? I know you've had a couple setbacks in your career, but that one must have been tough, especially because you're just, you were sick, right?
Yeah, it just the way it played out, it was just brutal timing, man. I was actually on my way to California, in my layover, and I just started feeling like shit. And I'm just like, what's going on? And then on my second flight there, I started getting the shakes, and I'm like, oh man. And I finally got there to Cali, and I was like laid in bed for a few days sick, and then I finally tested. I was like, okay, whatever. I got COVID, and I thought I'd be good in like a week, and but yeah, it just wouldn't go away. And having to pull out, man, it sucked because I was so pumped. First of all, to go to Hawaii to fight there, never been, and then a chance to get in the Grand Prix, and I'll lose out in a paycheck as well. So yeah, overall, man, it was just brutal.
When were you able to get back to training full time? Like you mentioned, being off for 4 weeks. Kind of give me a timeline here. Today's May 18th. When were you actually able to get back to training like full force?
I tried a bit, and it was a little bit too early, and I just couldn't. I had no energy, no like trying to get somebody off me. I had no strength, and then I don't know if this is just a coincidence or if it affected me. Like I said, I talked to Arnett. He actually was dealing with the same thing, and just my joints, man. I don't know if it's just maybe from being inactive for like a month, but like my knees and my back started like flaring up big time. And I'm treating those now too. So, or I'm just getting old, dude. I've been around a long
Yeah,
time.
probably a bit of both. I can relate, Josh, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been the biggest issue, man. Just like the inflammation and shit. I'm just dealing with that, and I'm kind of slowly. I don't know. I want to get back to like full gung ho again, but I know if I do that, I think it'd be kind of a jumping the gun a bit.
Interesting. Okay, so you're still dealing with this now. It's kind of my understanding. Then you're not like 100% right now.
Yeah, I just like a knee injury that's been just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't even know what I did. And like I said, I think it might be due to that. And then my back started flaring up right after all of this. And like I said, it could be coincidence. It could be just kind of getting old and inactive, kind of screwed me a bit. But yeah, I'm hoping within the next, I don't know, very, very soon, short time, I can get back to actually the full swing. I'm doing training, which is not full on like I usually do.
Interesting. By the way, you kind of glanced over something there. You said Arnett, Jesse Arnett. Are you guys talking? Like, what are you guys? Was that the Arnett you were referring to?
Yeah, Jesse. Yeah. Oh, I mean,
So you guys are cool, because I got to mention this for people who don't know. Back in the day in the Canadian regional scene, you guys were rivals. You guys fought each other. Obviously, you beat him. But are you guys like friends now? I didn't know this.
Yeah, man. He's cool shit. I like Jesse, man. Yeah, we had our thing, and we kind of talked some shit beforehand, but it was all good. And immediately after, we had beers. Like it was all good. And he's a good dude, good fighter, and we always talk. And I'm happy to see he's doing well, fighting out east. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's how Canadian of you guys to bury the hatchet. I thought that's great. So that's cool. So when was the last time you spoke to Bellator? I guess your management sort of handles that, but what's been their feedback? Because obviously I'm sure they want to see you back in action too.
Yeah, I was really pushing to fight Gallagher. That's who I want. Like everybody on the roster, I guess. But and the one I didn't want to wait all the way to September. But if I'm gonna wait, then that would be the one to do it for in Ireland. Fight an Irishman. But unfortunately, my manager said he won't fight you. And he picked Brett Johns, which is not an easy fight either. So yeah, that was the one I was really gung ho for. I'm trying to get that one. So obviously it's not happening. So we'll see. I called out him, and I called out Casbell at the time. That they were the other two top tens for Bellator that didn't have anything lined up. So I thought I want somebody in this top 10, and so maybe Casbell, that would be great. I like that one too. But who knows? We'll see.
I'm sure you watched some of the fights in the tournament that played out. What did you think of Danny Sabatello? Obviously, he made a lot of noise, getting the win and then, kind of going, off like a pro wrestler.
Yeah, man, he's he's good. He's a good wrestler. I mean, that's what he does best, right? He brings a high pace, and his wrestling's very high level. And to be honest, this fight I was more impressed than ever. I've seen this couple fights before, in his first one, and out of those, he didn't try to do any damage, just to control, hold you, take down, put you on the cage, hold you, and there was like no intent to really hurt you or try to finish. And in this fight, at least he opened up on the ground, and he had some good ground and pound, and he was looking for the finish. So that was good. And Lugo, he's no slouch either. It's a tough test. So as far as that, he's he's a good fighter, but yeah, it's trash talk. His voice, man, it makes like nails on a chalkboard for me. That cringy, I call him Danny Zuko. That's what he reminds me of, something like that. But yeah, he's good, but he's talking all that game and getting some hype behind his name, I guess. So good for him.
And then I'm sure you saw Raufeon Stots win the title over Juan Aruchuleta, the interim title. You fought Raufeon. Were you surprised by that result? What did you think of his performance?
I thought Stotts would win. I did pick him to win. I was very surprised, though. I think even Stotts was at the way Archuleta came out and actually was, taking Stotts down and putting him as back in wrestling quite a bit. And I didn't think Juan would do that. I thought he'd try to, keep it more on the feet and try to bang it out. And he looked good early. Juan, really good. I was really impressed. And then, yeah, he just caught him with that nice head kick, and as Juan kind of dipped into it and finished him off, man. So impressive performance from both guys. Both guys are top dudes in the division for sure. Yeah, that was exciting one to watch.
Who do you think wins it all? I mean, the tournament's still going on. Is there anyone you see as like the clear favorite in that tournament? I didn't even mention, by the way, Horiguchi losing to Patchy Mix. That was kind of a surprising, I think, result to some. Who do you think wins it all if you're a betting man?
If I was a betting man, I'd probably put my money on Stotts. I just think he's well-rounded. He's got good wrestling, good athlete. In an ideal world, he wins ideal world, I get back in this thing, somehow, and I meet him in the final. But an ideal world, if he goes on and wins this, and I can get another, maybe 2 wins, and then, kind of another title shot with him having it, and get that rematch back. That would be my dream sequence for sure.
Switching gears a little bit, someone that you fought twice, I think some people forget, just retired recently, Marlon Moraes. Just your reaction to that? I know he's had a bit of a tough skid there, but I don't know if people thought retirement would happen.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I didn't know if retirement would happen, but yeah, he just went such on a huge high and then it just crashed, and I don't know if maybe just too many wars. He's been around the game a long time. He's only 34 or whatever it is, but he's just had so many fights, and he had so many Muay Thai fights before MMA. He just started, but he also fought killers too. His losses are all top guys. But yeah, man, maybe it just, I don't know. Ever since, for me, I always said right when he left Mark Henry, that's when things kind of turned there, because he was like a world beater, maybe minutes away from winning the UFC title against Cejudo. He was looking amazing, and then just kind of like deadline, you know what I mean? And yeah, it sucks to see, but if it's the right call for him, if he's making that decision, he thinks it's the right call, then he's had a great career and made some good money, and yeah, so good for him.
Before we get out of here, what's life looking like these days? I know you're a dad, obviously fatherhood's number one, but you're still recovering and stuff. What have you been up to dealing with this illness?
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to get healthy. I want to fight, like, ideally July, August, September at the latest. You know what I mean? I want to get back in there. I wanted 3 fights this year. That was my goal, obviously being in the tournament. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to squeeze 3 in, but I'm hoping 2 anyway. That's what I want. And just, yeah, being a dad, man. And I started my own mental coaching business, mental performance coaching. Yeah, it's called Cerebral Champion, and I'm kind of getting that going while I'm still fighting, kind of on the back burner, and just slowly build it. And then that's something I want to kind of do and go full gung ho once I'm retired, and just kind of help people with the mental game.
That's great. And still making times for interviews, Josh. Really appreciate the time, man. We're excited for when you get back, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors or any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
All my sponsors that are helping me along the way. There's too many to name that have been on me, with me the whole time, and just all my family, friends, supporters, and yeah, man, just anytime. Thanks for having me on, brother. Good to see you.